In this video, I want to answer the number one question I get asked as an animal communicator and pet psychic, which is, Sarah Jane, where does my pet go when they die? If you don't know me, I am an animal communicator and trauma expert who helps people and animals to heal from unresolved trauma and attachment wounds so that they can live a healthy, balanced, and long life. I've also written a pet grief guidebook, how to navigate through pet loss, death, grief, and the afterlife to help you to get through this difficult time. There's also a companion memorial and grief journal that goes with it, or makes for a lovely gift to give to someone that you might know who has just lost a pet and is overwhelmed by grief. As always, please hit the subscribe button and share this with others who may find this useful. I also read all your comments and questions, so please keep adding your voice to the conversation. The first thing I want you to know is that animals don't fear death because they know that they are pure consciousness, pure energy that is omnipresent. It's everywhere all the time. When your animal companion passes, because they have a very psychic connection to the divine with spirit, when they're living, they do not have fear around aging or dying or death the way that we do. They may pick up on your fear and distress and reflect that back to you as your soul teacher. They are much more attuned to their sixth sense than we are because they live in the present moment and they respond to it innately. We see this in how animals start to move to high ground long before a natural disaster happens, or they start to react differently before an earthquake or a fire. And we can learn a lot from our pets if we just observe and listen to them because they live on multiple dimensions and realms. They live between worlds. If you've ever seen your cat staring at an empty corner of a room, or your dog's barking at something that you can't see, but they're responding to, it's an entity or a spirit. They truly are our protectors and can warn us of negative entities as well as angelic beings. And medicine women or witches are always depicted with black cats for a reason. Cats are masters at transmuting negative energies in and out of bodies. And if you want to know if a person has good intentions, the saying stands that just ask your dog. Number two is, can my pet get lost on the way to the afterlife, to heaven? And there seems to be a lot of confusion out there when some people tell an animal lover that it'll take a few days to get to the afterlife to communicate, and that's why they can't hear them. And I've had thousands of conversations with animals over the last 2 decades that I've been doing this, and whether they're living or in spirit, they all tell me, with a few exceptions, that their crossing is instantaneous. They cross very quickly. All animals choose the date of their birth and their death, who's going to be their person, and they want us to know that as much as they know how concerned we are for their welfare, we really have very little control over anything, including them. It's a hard one for us to comprehend, and another one of the master lessons for us to surrender and to have healthy codependent relationships, to really be in the past and to know that there's no death. Our pets come in with their soul contracts to wake us up to the neglected, to the forgotten, and the sacred that we find in our connections with them. They want us, in our love for them, to acknowledge our oneness and connection to all life, to the great cosmos and the greatness within us. When an animal knows that their body is close to death, their soul begins to separate from the physical body, sometimes days before their actual last breath. They show me, like people who have had near-death experiences, that just before their heart stops beating, their etheric body, the soul, sees their body from above. And they also see us as our highest ascended self, the soul group that we belong to. And all the ascended masters and guides are there too. The minute their heart stops, they cross the rainbow bridge with their spirit guides, including us, escorting them there. Number three is who meets them in the afterlife. What they show me is that we go with them as part of their soul group. So you meet them, your ascended self, and they're whole and healed and pain-free and happy. The only time your pet may get stuck in the earth plane is when they die very suddenly, like being hit by a car or eaten by a wild animal, or they drown and they don't know that they no longer have a physical body. Their soul kind of hovers around. If I see a dead animal on the side of the road, and you can do this too, is you ask them, do you know that you no longer have a body? And you can tell them that they can go now. Thank them for the lessons and say, I'm sorry, and that you love them, and they leave straight away. I also don't believe that their soul gets stuck here or that they stay longer than they want to in a sick body if they feel that you're not ready to let them go. I think that it's just not true, and it just creates more guilt at a time when you are probably already very heartbroken. The fourth thing that animals want you to know is the question that a lot of people ask around, did my pet suffer unbearably? I think a lot of people regret that they've perhaps kept their animal alive too long, giving them chemotherapy or drugs just to try and hold on. And we lose what we love always too soon. It's a fact. And we always bargain for more time. So don't feel guilty if you felt like you kept your animal here and caused them more suffering. It may look like they are in agonizing pain and their physical body is, but their spirit is already outside of the body. They always know what is best for you and how to help you to grow and evolve. They never get lost. They know exactly what they're doing. And their greatest gift in death and the dying process is always to help us to feel our pain and our grief about losing them and transform that into a deeper connection with them in spirit. By making their death sacred, burying their body or scattering their ashes, saying prayers, setting a ritual, sharing stories of how much you love them, their characteristics and funny things that they did, can give you a lot of space to process your loss, to realize and metabolize your grief. They give us everything, and they give whether they're alive or in spirit. They just keep on giving. The fifth thing is that pets in spirit are always trying to connect and comfort you, to tell you that they're all right. I made another video about signs from your pet in the afterlife here. And whenever you dream of your pet, they're giving you messages. They will also remind you that they are around and appreciating you in the special bond that you share by visiting you. You may be doing the dishes and missing them, and all of a sudden you feel them rub up against your leg or tickle your hair. And they're all ways that they're helping us to continue to stay in the flow and that relationship. They'll also help you with specific events and situations that you may need healing and that are challenging you. So be aware of synchronicity and the subtle signs that they may be sending you messages or clarity around a problem that you're having. They'll help you to continue to stay in the flow and grow and evolve. And they may also plan very specific events and situations to help you to heal by sending you a new soul pet to love, or tell you exactly when they will be reincarnating and coming back to you. I made a meditation to help you to connect to your pet in spirit, which I'll link below. I do help people to connect with their pets in spirit and communicate with them. So if you don't feel confident to speak to them directly, please contact me. Also, a gentle reminder that every time you think or talk to your pet in your head or out loud, they do hear you. You came to this world knowing how to communicate non-verbally. It's a muscle you just need to exercise. So if you're interested in learning how to communicate with your animals and learn energy, medicine, healing tools, please have a look at what is included in my home study course, Being Human Through Animals. You can also join a tribe of animal lovers just like you over on my Facebook group, where I answer questions, all things animal, and share a lot of resources. I will post the link below, and I look forward to you joining us there. As always, please trust that you're not alone, and give yourself time to grieve and to celebrate your beloved animal companion's life. And again, I am so sorry that you're missing your pet now that his body has died. Trust that he is still there, all around, connecting, communicating with you from spirit.